One, two. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the brand new podcast. I'm curious to know with Freddy Sanchez. This is going to be a much more different podcast than my other one, my sports one, Freddy is Ready. This is something new for sure. The intention was to reach a broader audience, to bring some insightful and entertaining, facts about my guests, about myself as well. Yeah. So like I said, our goal is to reach a broader audience. And I think that is a perfect example of my first guest. My first guest is actually someone who came up with this idea not so long ago. He decided, hey, you know what? I think this would work better for your podcast. I feel like your personality works with it. This would reach a bigger audience besides just, sports heads or whatever. And he actually offered to be my first guest, hence why he is my first guest. He's a 26-year-old, and he's lived a life that, is equivalent to a 50-year-old. I'll say that right now. From hardships at a young age, to skating his way around an entire city of commerce, to meeting his friend group, to obtaining a bachelor's degree in sociology from Cal State LA and becoming a major role model for obviously all the kids that he's worked with here in the city of commerce. Please welcome my brother from another mother, Jaime Cervantes.
Yay! What up? What up?
It's the first introduction,
I think it's gonna be weird because all the dogs are going around, so they're gonna see in the video like all the dogs, and it's funny too because they're gonna be like, "Oh, it's true, he has a lot of dogs."
Oh yeah, if you guys don't know, Jaime has 7.
I have 6, dog. I have 6. Oh, it doesn't charge. Fuck it. I have 6 dogs, but we have 2 other ones in India, so 8 in total, but 6 living here.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like Bambino, big guy. That's the one dog I know.
Does he like to bring that? Bambino! No, he's not gonna come. Yeah, Bambino, I don't like him because he started all this. Him and this one right here, like she's the
Zuma?
She's the mom. She's the mom, and then Bambino is the dad. And Bambino is like a quarter of her. So
I know, it's trippy. It's trippy because
quarter, like, oh, Cardi's right here. Like, oh, this is my favorite. Right here. It's Cardi. For those that may not know,
Guapo.
I named this dog. So we only had her and then Bambino, and then they ended up mating, having puppies, and she came out with 4 puppies. Actually 5, but one of them passed away. So only 4, right? And everybody was name dropping all of them already, right? And I was like, I want to name one of them. So I named this one right here, Cardi. And I named her Cardi because at the time I was in high school, I had the biggest crush on Cardi B. So I named her Cardi. And then we started calling her Cardi G.
She was popular at the time?
She was like pretty popular. That's when she dropped like I Like It and
No, that was when I was like in high school.
Fool, like we're not that far in age, bro. Like
we're far in age.
No, we're not. 4 years.
I wasn't in high school when you were in high school.
You were like a freshman. I was a senior.
No, you graduated and then I became a freshman. When year did you graduate?
2018. But I remember it was because she dropped I
went
Like
in 2018, 2019.
with Bad Bunny, and then she dropped some other song before that one, which made her popular.
Bodak Yellow was the one that made her popular.
Oh yeah, Bodak Yellow. Damn, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's the one that you probably heard.
I had a crush on her for some odd reason, and I named her Cardi. We named her Cardi G, because G is like Garcia, like our last name is Garcia in his household. So yeah, her name's Cardi G. But yeah, fucking 6 dogs, crazy ass shit. You pass by my crib, everybody's barking. They all bark at them.
I always told Jimmy if he gets robbed, he deserves it. He deserves it. Like I don't know, like you can't get robbed in this house.
When they were stealing Cadillac converters, they were like knocked out. They didn't even wake me up. I heard the chainsaw, like stupid sometimes.
And you got up and checked, didn't do anything about it, huh?
No, hell no. I got up and looked, but I didn't see anything. It wasn't until I jumped back on my bed and then I heard the chainsaw. And I ran out to see it. By the time I ran out, they took off from their truck.
And who's the one that got their stolen?
So it was my cousin which I live here with, and then it was 2 from the labor area.
But you guys all turned your cars on, huh? Like
so the way it happened was I was sleeping, and then I was just sleeping, and then I heard a car alarm. So I woke up, came to the front door, and I opened the front door. And I'm half asleep, so I'm looking, right? I'm trying to freaking lock in, and I'm like looking. And as I'm looking, and I see it's a white car, the lights, the alarm shut off. So I'm like, oh, it wasn't us because I didn't turn it off. So I'm like, fuck, I didn't care anymore. So I go and I jump back on my bed. And as soon as I jumped on my bed, I heard the chainsaw. Zzz. And that's when like I kicked my blankets and I was like, oh shoot, they're stealing catalytic converters. So I ran out to the front door, and as soon as I ran out, they had jumped in this SUV, and I know it was electric because I didn't hear the takeoff. It just zoomed out and was zoomed out this way. But that SUV was parked right next to my uncle's car. So I'm thinking, oh, they stole his catalytic converters because it's an old car. It's not that young. So I went, woke up my
Couple.
uncle. Hey, they stole your Cadillac converters. And this guy too, he got all scared, woke up all quick, and we go outside. We check his car. His car was fine. We turn my car because I'm like, oh shit, it's probably my car. And go turn on my car. My car was fine. I'm like, what the heck? So whose did they steal? We check my cousin's. Her shit's like, and
Oh,
we're like, damn, that sucks. And then
brutal.
next morning we found out they stole the next two. So
They sold two of theirs, huh?
yeah, they stole two of theirs. It's pretty crazy.
It's a cool little story to start the pot off. Obviously, I knew that story.
Wait, but moral of the story, these fools did not bark not once. They were sound asleep like that with their hands up like that. These fools didn't bark once. You gonna jump off? No.
So
She just wants to chill here.
I got a couple topics we're gonna talk about. We're gonna go through your whole life basically. I want you to kind of talk about your lifehood, but I feel like the best way to start off is your early childhood. So for the people don't know this.
What?
You were born in New Mexico. You weren't born in California.
I was born in New Mexico. I was born in New Mexico, which I didn't even know that until like I was probably like 10 years old, because I do remember a certain point. I mean, you may think it's weird, but like I didn't know too much at a young age. Like I felt like I didn't start realizing shit until like maybe 7 or 8. So like I remember um at an early age, like one of my first memories, I was living in Mexico. Like, I remember living in Mexico. We were in Mexico for a while.
Mexico or New Mexico?
No, Mexico.
Oh.
Mexico, like actual
southern
Mexico.
of the border.
Yeah, and I remember living in Mexico, in Chihuahua, Mexico, and my grandma, which we call my Mawe, I don't know why we called her that, but Mawe, she would like take care of me, whatever. I don't know what my mom was doing out there, or whatever, but we were living there, so I had that good memory of that. And then obviously we came over here to this side, and then my mom had like friends and some type of family here, and then we kind of like started living out here. And then as I started going to school, my mentality was I was from Mexico. Like, I was born in Mexico, because I also have this I think it's in this arm. I have the shot. I don't know if it's, I forgot which arm it is. Oh, it's right here, this one. I have the shot. I have the shot from Mexico. Oh, that's how it started. So I have a friend named Memo, right? I don't want to throw his business out there, but
Yeah.
one of my first friends in Rosewood. Well, damn. I mean, I can say I can Rosewood. I went to Rosewood, right? From 1st grade to 8th grade, right?
Yeah.
So one of my first friends in Rosewood was Memo, Guillermo. And Guillermo, like right off the bat, tells me like, yeah, like I'm born in Mexico, this and that. And I'm like, oh shit, like that's cool. He goes, yeah, I got this shot right here that tells this shot tells you you're from Mexico. And I'm looking at him like, what the hell? Like, I have the same shot and the same arm. And he goes, oh, so you're from Mexico too? And I'm like, nah, no way. Like, I'm from Mexico. And he was like, yeah, you're from Mexico if you have that shot. So then I go home and I tell my mom. I think I was like I said, like 8 or 9. I go and I tell my mom, like, yo, like, you never told me I was born in Mexico. Like, I'm born in Mexico because I have this shot. And then she's like, oh, no, like, you're born in New Mexico. And I'm like, what? Then why do I have this shot? She was like, oh, because your grandma gave you that shot out there because she thought you were going to stay there and live there for like the rest of your life. But I ended up making some switches and we came back over here. And I was like, oh, shoot. But I was like, why New Mexico though? Like, why was it there? And then she was just like, well, she was planning to move out of here. Like, she was, so she came over here when she was, I think, like 14. She lived with an aunt that lived on the East LA side, Bristol, basically. She lived in Bristol area. And my mom was living with her, and she was like working around. My mom was working as a nanny. That's how she started working. She started working as a nanny. And she was living there with my aunt. And then, my mom just ended up staying here, and she started working for Taco Bell and started making her own money, right? And then she already had my brother. So, I mean, she just had my brother. I don't know what age she had my brother, but she had my brother. She was living there with my aunt, but she had to figure out her own ways, right? So she was figuring out here and there, trying to see what she was gonna do. She ended up meeting my dad here working on the buses because needed to get the bus run because my mom was scared to drive. So she would get on the bus and she met my dad, whatever. You know, they went on a couple of days. They actually like got with each other. They're in the whole relationship. And then their relationship kind of like, you know, ended because
Mhm.
a dumb decision. Honestly, my mom was a hard headed woman. She's like,
Yeah.
she didn't get her way. It was the highway.
Yeah.
And she didn't get her way. So she went the highway and she literally just took off. She was like, you know what? It's not for me here. I'm going to go live with my sister, with my aunt. Well, her sister, which is my aunt,
Mhm.
she lived in New Mexico. So she took off to New Mexico. And then when she got there, she said, um, that she started feeling some type of way. She wanted to go see a doctor out there, and it turned out she was pregnant, and she had no clue she was pregnant. She had no clue she was pregnant, so she ended up having me out there in New Mexico. And the funny story too is that she called my dad when he was over here, right? And my dad's a scaredy cat, you know, he's a fucking sick scaredy cat. And I think that's where I get it from. She called my dad. She's like, "Hey, um, I'm pregnant. I'm gonna have your son. This is the due date. Just letting you know." She just clicked. And that fool was all
Mm.
panicked, like, hey, like, what the heck? Like, what do you mean this and that? Like, I was scared. So the day came, and this guy, you know, he's gonna go out and like see me or whatever. And they like, you have to take a plane. They tell him like, you have to take a plane to get there. And he was like, there's no buses. And they're like, I mean, you get the bus, but the bus didn't take like an hour or something. It's like, fuck it, I'll take the bus. And he took the bus
To
all
go
the
to
way
New
to New
Mexico?
Mexico.
That's like a
Yeah.
day, dude.
Yeah, something
That's
like
like a
that.
day in a
But he
thing.
could have taken the faster route, but
But
he's
he's
just
like,
scared of
nah,
heights.
yeah.
So he's like, I'm gonna take the bus.
So
So
you,
that's how I was born in New Mexico, which is weird. It's very odd. I have no memory of New Mexico.
mhm,
I don't even know how it looks out there. I don't know any cities.
yeah.
Um,
So you touched on it a little bit, with your parents, Don Jaime, the same name, Don Jaime
we
Cervantes.
have the same name, but different middle names.
Yeah,
So my middle name's Chayanne. His middle name is Peña.
yeah. So I know I want to dive in a little bit into May she rest in peace in Maria
Oh, my
Guadalupe.
mom. Yeah.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, Jimmy's mother passed away. I want to say like a year ago, 2 years ago,
Yeah, it was 2025. The
2025.
beginning of 2025, January 12th.
Yeah.
I
So
was counting.
if you don't
Not
know,
money.
if you didn't know by now by his middle name, she was a big Mana fan.
She was.
She was a
But
big
Chayanne's
Mana
not in
fan.
Mana, but
But she loved like
she
music like
loved
that.
like music. Yeah,
Yeah.
she was a big Mana fan.
So from early on, your parents were split, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken. So you
yeah,
would like but you would reside with your mom. Wherever your mom went, you kind of would follow. Until a certain age where you moved in with your tia or your cousin.
yeah. So yeah. I mean, I always lived with my mom. My dad kind of as early as I can remember, my parents have been split. Like I don't remember. I don't remember them ever like being like lovey dovey with each other. I
Mhm.
don't. I never like seen that side. If anything, they didn't like each other. Like they didn't.
You say
Like
that with
I
the
used to
biggest smile
have
on your face,
I didn't
huh?
know what anxiety was as a kid, but I would get scared when I would see them both in the same room. Cause my mom held so much resentment toward my dad. And I don't get why. I never asked why she had so much resentment toward him. Even though she broke up with my dad.
Yeah.
My dad didn't break up with her. She broke up with him over like I heard like it was probably the dumbest reason ever. Like, but she broke up with him and she held so much resentment towards him. And every time they ran into each other, I mean, as a kid, they would argue. Like she would just be like fucking cussing him out, and this dude would just cuss back. And my dad's like, if you ever met my dad does not get mad. Like you could fucking spit on him and he won't get mad. Like I mean, actually, I don't know about that, but he's just a very chill dude. But for some reason, they would fucking bump heads and they would yell at each other, stuff like that. But yeah, my dad, like I would see my dad every other 2 weeks. Like it was a Sunday it would be one Sunday on, one Sunday off, one Sunday on, one Sunday. So that's how I would see my dad. And then mainly I lived with my mom. But the good thing about my dad is that my dad had like a really good family. Like talking about his side. Like he had
Yeah.
a really good
Yeah.
sister.
Yeah.
And
That's who you live with now.
yeah, that's who I live with now. Which is my godmother. She's also my godmother, she's my Nina. and what's it called? My Nina's always been there since like I said, ever since I can remember. Like my Nina threw my first birthday party. She a bunch of other birthday parties, not just one, but like every other birthday party. And she like would have me go stay over with her. I mean, I don't know if she would have me, or I don't know. Like I don't know how it started, but I would just naturally stay over their house every other weekend, and maybe like every weekend, but like every other weekend I'd stay over their house, and they would watch over me because also my mom worked a lot. My mom
Yeah.
was like a busy lady.
Taco
My
Bell.
mom, yeah, she worked at Taco Bell, and then she always had a second job, whether it was cleaning houses, working at a fabric store. Like my mom was a fucking hustler, bro. That's where I got the mentality from her, is that she was a fucking hustler. So my mom was a single lady, so nobody could watch me and my brother. So I get think that's what she would tell my Nina, and my Nina would pick me up and she would watch me and stuff.
Hmm.
So yeah, I was always with my mom, but my Nina was like also another part that I would always be in, which is
So
where I live with now.
I do want to get into your housing a little bit, but you always went to the same school, which is Rosewood. And that's where you met majority of your friends, right? That's where you
All of
were.
them, yeah,
Well, yeah, with exception
all
to
of them.
David and Josh.
No, I met them too.
Oh, I thought you met them in high school
No, I met them. I knew all of them in
in Rosewood, and
in
that's where you
Rosewood.
were a skater. That's where like your
Well, I
life
didn't
was
know them
really.
that young, so I didn't know them that young. So I knew. So my first ever friend was Guillermo Memo, right? Everybody knows Memo. Memo, freaking, he was the first friend I met, and then put it this way, yeah. So from like first grade, and I think I started skateboarding at I want to say second or third grade. Like I want to say this summer getting to third grade, I started skateboarding because I saw my brother skateboarding.
Mhm.
I don't know how he. Oh, I think my brother picked it up from our cousins. Like we have cousins that would skate out in India, and they would skate. And I had an older cousin that was he was a beast. And you know what's trippy? He still skates to this fucking day. That motherfucker's like damn near 40 years old,
And you
and he
still skater.
skates. He skates to this day. His name is Furby Lion. Search him up on YouTube. I swear
Furby
to you,
Lion?
or TikTok, bro. He still skates to this day. He's a beast. Does some crazy ass shit.
Hmm.
But point is, I would see him skate, and I was like, "Fuck, that shit's badass." He put me on a skateboard, and at first I was all like, "Fucking," unbalanced and stuff. But then I started picking it up. But then my brother really picked it up after that. Like he liked it, so he asked my mom for a skateboard. She got him a skateboard. He started skateboarding, and I would just see him like skateboard, and I thought it was cool. And any other little brother, you see your older brother doing something, you're gonna want to pick it up.
Yeah.
So I did. I started picking it up. I asked my dad. I actually asked my dad for a skateboard for Christmas, and he got me I can't remember what the skateboard was, but he got me a good skateboard. Like it was a real good skateboard,
Yeah.
and it was a whole full complete and everything. And I remember opening it on Christmas, bro. Like I just opened it up, and it was a freaking skateboard, and I was freaking out. Like I was just freaking out. I remember I took it to Mexico, that because what we do is like a tradition after Christmas, we'll go straight to
To
Mexico
Mexico.
to celebrate New Year's out there. So I took it to Mexico, and I was skating out there with my cousins, and yeah, whatever. But so I started skateboarding at a really young age. But though I met a separate, different friend group. They all went to Rosewood, but they were like 3 years older than 3, or like 4 or 5 years older than me.
Hmm.
So I was a young kid. No, yeah, like 3. The youngest dude was like 3 years older than me, and then the other ones were yeah, way older than me. Like a lot of them were already in like freshmen in high school, but they were going to Rosewood at one point. But yeah, so I started skateboarding at a young age, um, and I would skate right there by the church, by St. Marcelina's. They used to call that little parking spot. Before they put the fence, there was no fence there. They used to call that a boneyard. I don't know who called it that, but they
Hmm.
called it that. And, everybody that skated in Commerce would go and meet there because it had like the perfect flat ground. It had a little bit of curbs that you can grind on, and it was a cool little spot. And everybody would go there. And I literally lived like a few steps away from there. So I would just wake up and go and skate there. And then that's where I started meeting a lot of my friends, and yeah, I started skating with them, and these guys were older than me, so they were down to do crazier things. And I was so young, and I didn't know much. I kind of just went with the flow, and but for the most part, like they were fun. Like I had a bunch of memories with them, like bunch of stupid memories and dumb and things where I was like, damn, um, like I would go to school and talk to Memo about what I did the night before, and he would be like, "What?" Like
Yeah.
I was watching like SpongeBob at home, and I was just
Uh,
like, "Damn, that's crazy!" Like that. I was like, I was over here in Pico Rivera skating at a skate park, and he'd just be like, "Did your parents take you?" I'm like, "No, we went on our own," and he was like
mhm.
surprised to hear that. And funny story is that I ended up taking him one time because he got into skateboarding too. Guillermo got into skateboarding
Yeah.
because of me. Or I don't know, he got it somewhere else, but he started skateboarding too. And then he would want to skate with us, and I would bring him along with my friends, right? They didn't care too much about it. We would just skate right there at Rosewood. But one time, one of our homies, his name was Dominic, Dominic Maldonado. He was a water polo player. His dad was like, hey, like, or I mean, he already had planned that he was gonna go to skate park.
Yeah.
And his dad had these like cool hippie vans, bunch of cool hippie vans, and he would like drive them around, right? And he had this one special hippie van that was like it was bigger than the normal hippie vans, and it was like a little house in there. And this guy would take us all in there to skate parks. Like he would drive us all in there, no seatbelts, nothing. We're just in there like freaking almost falling down and stuff, and we was just messing around. But he took us all the way to Belvedere skate park. Um, and I remember I had told Guillermo, like, just come with us, like we'll come back before 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Blah, blah.
And Guillermo was like in and out, like, and I kind of was like, come on, like just go. And then he was like, all right, screw it. So he jumped in the hippie van. We took off over there, and we're skating up there. We're having a really good time. And then out of nowhere, I see Guillermo's mom like coming into the skate park pissed. And I don't know how she found him. I never asked him how she found him. I think he called her before leaving, and she like got to the skate park and she was pissed and she was like, "Get in the freaking car, this and that. You're never gonna hang out with Jimmy, this and that."
Oh, damn. So I got that
And I
bad.
was over here like, oh, like surprised, and
Yeah.
I was like all embarrassed. And then freaking Guillermo didn't talk to me the next. I mean, he did talk to me, but he was all like telling me that he couldn't talk to me. And then I remember he was crying too. Like he doesn't want to admit it, but he was
He was
crying.
crying.
Nah,
Yeah.
he was crying into the car, and it was funny.
Oh, he's gonna love seeing this in India.
Yeah, he's
So
gonna
was he
love it.
crying?
But he was crying. I remember he admit he always declines. I said, "But you were crying. You were crying." He was like, "I wasn't crying if I was just scared." And I was just like, "You were crying."
Yeah, it sounds like he was crying.
But
So
yeah,
I couldn't help but mention or hear that at that time you weren't staying at one house consistently. You were kind of bouncing around
well,
depending on
yeah,
your
kind of.
situation.
Honestly, yeah, bounced around a lot.
And that was due to like current financial situations you were going on with your family.
Yeah, a lot of it was like financial situations because of my mom. Like, my mom was like a my mom was not the greatest when it came to saving money. Like, I don't know what her mentality was, but yeah, like she was a big lender. Like she would always ask people, "Hey, can I borrow this money and I'll pay you back this time?" And yeah, we would have to bounce around a lot. There was even times where we were living in a friend's house while she had a whole family in there, and it was kind of like awkward, Like my mom had to go work, so it was just me and my brother sitting in the house, and there was a whole family there, and I'm just sitting there like you don't have free will, because
Yeah, you're not the comfort isn't there.
the comfort is not
Yeah, the
there, but
comfort
you're
isn't
just
there.
sitting there like just there. And so there was situations like that. I bounced from house to house. But one thing I could tell you is that since my mom couldn't make enough money, we always had to live in a small little house. Like, and then when I say small, I'm saying like living room, restroom, kitchen. That was just normal to me. And I would hear like kids in my classroom talk about how they had like two restrooms, four bedrooms, freaking a backyard, a front yard. And I was just like, shit, like, I don't even know what that is. Like, I
Mhm.
don't know how that feels. And there was even like a point in my lifetime where I was so embarrassed about where I lived that I wouldn't let nobody come over. I would lie about where I lived. I would say I lived in like in a nice big house and I had a nice TV and nice couches like this right now.
Mhm.
Like I can afford this now, which is cool. Like we got this, but
Yeah.
like back then, like I mean, we had couches, but they were like couches that we picked up from freaking the streets, when you go
Yeah.
around the streets. Like we would have me and my brother would pick it up and take it to the house.
Yeah. So you mentioned like you were like scared of people coming over, also and all that. What I what I find like real funny is like that's the complete opposite of you now. Like you love your friends being where you're at, 24/7.
Wait, can you repeat that again? You said what? I don't know.
So you know how you mentioned how like you didn't like people coming over because of the
Oh
relationship.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So when I first met Jimmy, for people who don't know, I met him like in 2022, and when I first met him, it was regarding his Guadalupe, his mom.
Yeah,
But when I got invited like to HQ, which was what I think there's his house, basically 'cause HQ is his house. So if you hear his reference HQ, that's his house.
yeah,
Or outside his house. There would always be like 6 people here.
yeah.
Always be
Low
6 people.
key.
No matter where you went, there was like 5 friends there. And that's actually funny because that's like the complete opposite of your childhood. And that's what I kind of wanted to dive into a little bit about your high
History.
school years is like your friendships and like your core memories. Like, that's where I feel like you really became like Jimmy, like this Jimmy that you are now.
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, well, I'll touch bases on that right now. What? But like, first I'm gonna answer that first question. Like, yeah, like back then I didn't like people coming over to my house because I was embarrassed, and yeah, I was so embarrassed. But then, thankfully, down the road, I got blessed to live here. Like, my aunt gave me the option to like come over, like to stay in her house, and it was mainly because I was gonna go to Sure High School and she could take me to the bus and they wanted the best education for me, which honestly was not the best education. But
Why?
then, bro, Sure High School is like Sure High School is not what you think it is. But my aunt saw it as like, oh,
It's better than Bell Garden.
bro, honestly,
I'm just kidding.
nah, I'm
I'm
not gonna
just
get in that
kidding.
debate,
No,
bro.
no, no.
Hands I would say BG's better, but what I'm being honest, I'm being dead ass with you, but we're not gonna get in that debate.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah,
my aunt saw Sure High School as this like, oh, rich, nice school that's on the hill, this and that. You're gonna go there because she wanted the best education. And low-key, we should touch bases on that later. But so I ended up. So she wanted me. She didn't want me. She was telling me I was gonna go to that school because I originally supposed to go to BG, but she was like, "F that, you're going to this school." And she was a very strict lady, so. And my mom was like, "Hey, man, like listen to the lady. She knows what she's talking about." So I went to that school, and then she's like, "Well, you're gonna have to live here because, you know, you're obviously not gonna be able to make it to the bus stop walking every morning. Because also too, I have a problem even to this day. I struggle to wake up in the morning. I can have like 12 hours of sleep, and I'll freaking wake up late for some reason.
yeah.
So, you know, they were gonna like take charge of that, you know. So they had me come over and sleep, and I did. I shared a room with my cousin, and it was kind of weird because I'm a boy, she's a girl. But I lived with her all my life. Like I slept in her bed like all the time, every time I'd come over. So it was nothing weird. But you know, as I'm getting older, you know, you kind of want your space.
No, yeah, 100%.
But yeah, so as I was invited to come and live here, um, I just honestly, it was like a whole reality check, or like it was like a whole like crazy switch. And I remember when I first got that like slap in that face where it was different was like when I was living in my mom's house, like with my mom. It was just like, all right, mom, I'm gonna go skate at Rosewood. I'll be back, and I'll just take off. You know, she'll be like, oh, okay, okay, whatever. She was just cool with it and whatever. And I did that here when I was living here. I was like, all right,
Something a little different. Let's see, Jimmy's dogs acted up with 20 of them. You were talking about, what were we talking about?
fuck, what were we talking about?
Oh,
Shit.
you were telling your tia how like, oh, I'm gonna head out.
Oh yeah, so yeah. Let me go back to that. So yeah, I was so used to telling my mom like, yo, I'm gonna dip. I'll be back later. And I was telling her this like at like freaking 4th, 5th grade. You
Mhm.
know, your little kid telling your parent that. And, you know, my mom was cool with it though because you know she's familiar with the area. But yeah, you know, I was used to saying stuff like that. And then when I started living here, I think it was like the summer of 8th grade. Um, my aunt was literally sitting in this living room. She was sitting on that couch over there when we had other couches. She was watching TV right here, and then I'm like, all right, see you later. I'm gonna go play basketball at the park. And I fucking walked out. And then I went. I had a good day, blah blah. And then no, I'm wrong. So I said it, and as soon as I'm walking out the door, she's what did you just say? And I was like, I'm gonna go play. Like I'm gonna go play at the park. I'm gonna play basketball. And then she was like, oh, you think that's all right? And I'm over here fucking confused. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the heck? Like basketball's not bad. Like it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not even that late. And then she's just like, no, anytime you leave this house, you gotta ask me for permission. I was like, she was like, you can't just walk out of here and just expect to be okay. You have to ask me for permission. If it's okay, who you're gonna be with. And I was like, to me, I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's a thing? Like, I didn't know you were supposed to do
Mhm.
that. And then she was just like, yeah, so make it the last time you do that or you're not going out. And I was like, fuck, like, and I was like, okay, well, and I felt weird saying it first. I was like, is it okay if I go play? Can I go play basketball? She was like, yes, you can go play. Now only for 2 hours. And I was like, fuck. But I was like, all right, you know what, fuck it. But she was cool with it. And I went. So every day after that, I would ask her,
You wanna
hey, is
go?
it cool if I would? And I did that until I was like fucking 20, 21. I kid you not, until 2021. Like 20 or 21. And it wasn't until like I started paying bills and started helping her with like money and stuff where I was like, really? Like, I'm gonna ask her if I could go to the freaking gym? Like, why am I
Yeah,
gonna ask
no,
for stuff
yeah.
like that? And me and her like had a little like little back and forth time at that time because she kind of got bothered that I wasn't asking for permission. But I was like, come on, like really, like to go to the gym, I gotta ask you for permission. But I still like even to this day, I let her know like, hey, I'm gonna go run, or hey, I'm gonna go see Steph, or hey, I'm gonna go do this and that. Like even just not to my aunt, but to anybody that's in the house, it's like a core, like it's a rule. Like you gotta let each other know where you're gonna go.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, you see, I wasn't used to that at with my mom, and then over here was a crazy transition. But yeah. So then, yeah. So I mentioned that. Why did I mention that?
Because you
Just
said
'cause
you wanted to answer the first question, which was
the transition. How was it?
yeah, like the
So
transition.
that was the only transition that was. Other than that, like I loved it here. Also, another thing I wasn't used to, was that when I was living with my mom, I was alone a lot. Like my brother would take off and go hang out with his friends, and they would be in the streets all day. My mom, like I mentioned, my mom had to work. My mom was working like 2 jobs and stuff. So every time I came home from school, my mom wasn't home. She was gone working, and she wouldn't come back until like 2 in the morning, something
Yeah.
like that. So for the whole day, like I was alone. So I would either hang out with friends or I would just stay home and I would just be there in my own silence. I would watch TV and stuff or play my FIFA or anything, or I'd like go skate with my homies or something like that. But I was just alone. And then when I transitioned here, like there was always somebody in this house. Like either it was my aunt, either it was my uncle, either it was my cousins, either it was like other little cousins. Like it was somebody was always in the house. And I wasn't used to it, but honestly, it felt so good. Like it felt like a security, like if a security. It felt like I don't even know if that's a word. It felt like security, you
Yeah, I
felt
hear you.
safe, that because I remember when I was living with my mom, I was low key scared of the fact that anybody can come in, like somebody can come rob me and nobody would know because I didn't have a phone
Yeah.
or, I didn't have none of that. So I was always scared. Like I was just a scared kid. Like if anything like that happened, especially at night when it was night and my brother wouldn't come home on time, I was just scared. And, and then when I came over here, I loved it because somebody was always home and I felt safe. It was a cool transition. That's why I loved it here and I never left because I honestly forever feel grateful for living in this house despite anything that ever happens. Like I always feel grateful living in this house. But that's another thing is that's why I love this house so much that I'm willing to like share it with others, That's why I invite all my homies to come over.
Yeah.
Like anybody's free to be here whenever or wherever they want to come. Like I have a bed that has a bed under my bed. So that if anybody wants to crash here, they
Mhm.
can sleep on the bed. So like, you know.
And I think that speaks to like the relationships you have with your childhood friends, because everybody in your group or the group that we hang out with has known you for what 10 years now, maybe
Yeah, they know
more.
me for a long time. But they know me because of Rosewood, yeah.
Yeah, so they know you for more than like you're
But we didn't
26.
get close until like high school, end of high school, which I was gonna go back to, which is because I had other friends when I was a kid, and then as I grew up, I had other friends. Because I stopped hanging out with the friends I was younger with
Mhm.
because I just noticed like they would do a lot of bad shit, and like I just didn't want to do none of that bad shit no more. But the friends that I have right now, um, so I knew them all through Rosewood. Like we knew about each other because Rosewood's a small school, but I didn't get real tight with them until, um, yeah, like high school, end of high school, and yeah, because honestly, like a lot of them, like they were like big jokesters, and when I was in high school, like I
Oh,
was
so
taking high school serious. Like
yeah.
I wasn't there. I was like not there to play games. Like I would go to school, do my work. I was paying attention in every class. Like like I was a totally different person than I was younger me, because
Mm-hmm.
younger me was just, what do you want? Younger me was just fucking doing dumb shit, and then like high school me was like, nah, like I gotta get a degree because
Mm-hmm.
I want to live a good life and stuff like that. So
And your parent and your tia was like always about you going to school, huh?
yeah,
She was
she
big
like
on you
pushed it
going to
on me,
school.
like go to school, like get an education, get out of the living situation that you're in right now and make yourself do something good for yourself. And like I didn't want that as a young age, but when it really hit me, when I was like, damn, like I should really do something about my life, was when my mom got a letter in the mail that said like, hey, you possibly can get sent to jail if your kid continues to be missing school. And she was like, my mom was so surprised about how many absences I had. And honestly, like I had a lot of absences. And it was only because like there was times where like I said, my mom was a hustler. So as soon as
You
she woke
couldn't
up in
really
the
notice.
morning,
Yeah, she couldn't
she
really
couldn't
notice.
notice because she was always working. And then there was times where in the morning she would take off to go do work. She had to work a different shift or whatever. So like, and she was gone by like 7 in the morning. I didn't start class until like 7:40. So like I could stay in, like nobody was gonna find out. And to make it even worse is that my mom didn't speak English. So
Mhm.
when they would send
Letters.
not letter, when they would send a voice call to your house when you didn't go to school. It was in English, so she couldn't understand it. So I would just be like, oh, like they're just talking about a fire alarm or something like that. She'd just be, oh, okay, like she wouldn't like really bother about it. And then but I had a lot of absences, a shit ton of absences, and there is like I had a lot of tardies, and a lot of tardies equals up to one absence. So all that stuff, bro. Like I realized that I was gonna put an innocent lady in jail. Like that to me. Well, I didn't think of it like that at that point. My aunt and my cousins were the ones that like made me realize that, like, damn, like your mom is over here busting your ass to get you what you want right, like what you have right now, and live in this house and this and that, and put food on their plate just so you could send her to jail. Like, do you think that's all right? And I was like, shit, like, I didn't see it that way. And then that's when I did like a full switch and I fucking started taking school serious. And I took school so serious that next year I won the fucking most improved student. I did. I
Whoa.
have the flag. Oh, it's up there. You see that blue one?
At BG?
No, no, no. This is when I was
At
at
Rosewood?
Rosewood.
Oh, doesn't mean much.
It's that blue flag. It's most improved because
Yeah.
teachers realize like, oh, what the fuck? Like this
This was
motherfucker's
locked
doing his
in, you know what I
homework.
mean?
And I was like so devoted and shit, but I still couldn't read. But I was learning little by little because I
Yeah.
couldn't read until like I think like eighth grade.
Mhm.
Eighth grade is when I started reading. But yeah, like so yeah, so I blank out a lot. So
Your friend.
I did that whole switch, right? But that's what I was gonna go back to. So when I was going to high school, like I did not want to fuck around. Like I wasn't there to fuck around. I was there to fucking do my work, get good grades,
And your homies
hopefully
at the time
aim for a
weren't that.
good college. What?
And your homies at the time weren't that. Like they were like
No, they were
joking
the total opposite.
around.
Like those fuckers just showed up to kick his
So I think
ass.
we should share a funny story that I heard one time. So Jimmy in high school, I don't want to say he was a nutsack,
What?
but
Okay.
he was very like innocent.
I was super
And we
innocent.
have a friend named Josh.
Yeah.
So for those of you that don't know Josh, he's the complete opposite of innocent. And apparently on a bus one time they were driving home. They were going home,
Mm-hmm.
and that Josh was bugging Jimmy.
No, it was before we got on the bus though.
So before him,
Yeah.
and Josh was bugging Jimmy. And just so you can understand, like the type of friends Jimmy was like trying to avoid or whatever time. Josh
Ended up
had
being my
told
best
you.
friends though, but yeah.
Josh had told you, "Hey Jimmy, tell your girl to unbuckle my 501."
Yeah.
And then that's when Jimmy got butthurt or
I wanted to
whatever.
slap the shit out of him, but I wanted to slap the silly out of him. So what happened was like, so my freshman year of high school, I had a girlfriend. I'm not gonna say her name. Hope she's doing okay. Hope
Steph's
she's
not
doing.
gonna be too happy
Nah,
with
but I'm just saying,
that.
I'm just like, I'm wishing her the best.
Oh,
But I had this girlfriend in high school. She was a sweet girl, like super sweet girl, Christian girl, like played soccer. She was a cool little girl. Um, and we had like this routine where it was pretty wag, but it was like she would walk me out of my class, like cause she had like 6th period soccer. So there was things that they had practice or whatever. So she would go to my class after my 6th period. She would pick me up, and then we would walk together to like the back of the school where we get picked up at. And then she would give me a kiss, and then I would go. Ah, I didn't mean to show. I didn't have to show him. Well, that's how it was. I was giving her a kiss when this was caught me, and it was like on some low key shit. Like nobody would see us.
Yeah.
And this dumbass, oh man, whatever. So we went to our spot where we were about to say goodbye. And fucking Josh is over here walking, fucking.
And
Josh was like, keep in mind.
Josh was ugly in high school, by the way. So
Wait, why'd you have to mention that?
I just have to let out there. He's ugly in high school. So like, coming from him is even worse.
That beard did him justice, but
yeah, he has a beard now, but yeah, Moses needed that beard, big ass.
Anyways, fucking Josh didn't take shit to school. Like his backpack was empty. All that food took was worms. Josh was known for selling worms. So this was walking with his backpack. I think he had like 2 worms in it, right? It's all fucking saggy. He's just walking and he sees me like about to give her a kiss. But I'm looking at him. She has her back against him. And then he's walking this way and he goes, like, all surprised. I have some like crazy shit. And I'm like kissing up my mouth. I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, whatever. I took her, push it back a bit. Tell her bye, right? She goes up to, she leaves, right? And then I'm going to the bus. And as I get in line, Josh is in line with like all his other homies, right? And then he sees me, he goes, hey, you fools knew that Jimmy had a girlfriend? And then his cousin David was like, really? You have a girlfriend, Edie? And I was just like, yeah, I have a girlfriend. What's her name? And I'm like, nah, like I'm not gonna say too much. I'm like trying to, like, very shy. What? Like everybody's hyping me up. Who's your girlfriend? Who's your girlfriend? And then Josh randomly goes, hey, how about you tell her to unbuckle these 501s, huh? And everybody on the bus started laughing. Oh, and I swear to you, I want to slap the silly out of him because I was like, bro, that's not, what the hell, bro? Like, but honestly, like, yeah, like I tried avoiding that crowd, but they always knew me. Like they always knew who I was and how I, but it's crazy, we ended up being brothers, we ended up getting real close down the road. And yeah, like that's like literally, they honestly haven't changed. Like the way
they haven't. So
the way they are right now is the same way they were back then.
I actually have a funny story. So when Jimmy first started bringing me around, Josh wasn't here at that first HQ. It was Victor, Memo, and somebody else came.
Oh, really?
That day. So I remember Jimmy had told me, he goes, don't roast Josh.
Oh, yeah.
Josh is the one that you don't want to roast because Josh, like, his brain's wired differently. Like, this guy, like, he has a roast before you even roast him. So one day, I was wearing a Commerce hoodie.
Yeah.
And it had a C on it. It had a C on it. And it was just like a C. And I remember I was, like, talking to Josh, and Josh was roasting everybody else. And Josh is, me and Josh are big boys, but Josh is, like, he's just built weird. But I remember I had told Josh, like, I called him fat or something.
Yeah.
And Memo and Jimmy go, oh.
I remember I was sitting on something, like, I think it was like the Durango or something.
Yeah.
And you said, no, it was your truck. It was your truck. I was sitting on it.
Yeah.
And then you called them fat. And I literally looked at you like, bro, that was the one thing I told you not to do.
And right when I called him fat, like, I barely got the T out of my freaking mouth. And he goes, oh, really? What's that? What's that C on your shirt for? High cholesterol? And I was like, everybody started rolling. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, I was like in shambles. I couldn't even respond. And I remember, well, according to them, I didn't want to hang out because of that.
Yeah, that was that.
I don't agree with that. Like, I don't think that was true. But according to them, they're like, that food, like,
yeah, because they kept asking me for you, and I was just like, oh, he's busy. They're like, yeah, right. They're like, he can't take a joke, and I was like,
so Josh is the one guy where, like, I'm surprised, like, because you talk about, like, in high school, you don't hang out with those jokesters.
Yeah.
That was even worse now, I could imagine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, oh, my God, yeah. Josh and David. David is the one where...
But David's my ride or die.
David's your ride or die. So I wanted to get to his
David's my ride or die.
So David's older than you.
Yeah, he's 2 years older than me.
So he's 2 older than you and then 6 older than me.
Yeah, shit. I didn't think of it like that.
Gucci's what, 30? Nah, I'm just kidding.
Hey, he's gonna get off. He has a rose ready for you, bro.
He's 28, right?
That's a good one. Yeah, I think he's 28.
He's 28.
Yeah, I'm 26.
I'm 28. So talk a little bit about David. Talk a little bit about David.
About David. When I first met David, I first met him because I went to his brother's house for a school project. Honestly, we didn't work. Not one day did we talk about the project at his house. we would just fuck around at the house. But that first day when I went to go do go get out of here. Want to come up here? Zuma, vente, 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 vente. Nah, she doesn't want to come over here. When I first met David, yeah, I went over to his brother's house, his younger brother's house, to work on the project. And then when I went over, David had just I was already sitting there, right? I was talking to all the homies and stuff. And then David walks into, because he shared a room with David shared a room with his younger brother Isaiah.
Mm-hmm.
And David got home from Sure. And it was funny because he walked he barged in, boom, door swinging. He had jacks in his hand, bag of jacks. He was he was he had no he had no socks on. He bare feet.
Dirty.
Hey, and if you've seen David's toes, hey,
you know why? You know why?
yeah. So freaking butt came in, barged in, freaking fucking barefooted. I'm like, what the fuck was this guy? He goes, hey, what's up, Jimmy? And he crisscross applesauce right in front of me, sits on the floor, pulls out his freaking food, right? I'm like, what's up, dude? And he goes, you remember me? He asked me, like, you remember me? And I was like, nah, bro, I don't remember you. He goes, come on. He goes, he grabs a fry. I kid you not, I'll never forget. He grabbed the fry like this, and he ate it like this. I was like, I looked at him like, what the fuck? Is that how you eat fries? And I was just like, kind of like scared of him. Not scared of him, but like kind of like weirded out by him. And then he was just like, he's like, I remember you. Like, we met at Rosewood one time.
Yeah.
You were playing basketball with the woo. I'm like, oh shit, like I don't remember that. He goes, yeah, like your brother's this. You live here. He saw his name, like he knew everything about my life. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, oh shit, like okay, like, whatever. And then ever since that day, I would look forward to going to the house because he was a funny dude too. David's hilarious.
Yeah,
like
David's a funny guy.
David could just be there and he would just fucking do something
Like,
stupid. And
yeah, like David doesn't like to be in silence.
Yeah.
David's very much like, why would you, Liddy?
I got one funny story, David, and he declines it all the time. But in front of his house, they used to play basketball, all right? And I used to like playing basketball, but I wasn't that good at that time. I played more soccer than basketball. So I would just watch them play. And David was real ballsy one day, and he said him and his brother can beat Bernardo and Kiko, some other two fools that lived around there. And they were going at it. Fuck it, let's run it. So they're running the game. And fucking this fool Kiko, all-star athlete, goes up and dunks the ball right over David. David tried jumping, but he was too late. David got hit the pole, and fell over onto the fucking the cord, the thing that holds the cord up.
Yeah.
He falls onto that, and he gets up pissed, and he's yelling at his brother, "Chucho, guard him! That's your man!" I was right there, like looking at him, like laughing and shit. And
Chucho was just right there, like, my bad, D. My bad, D.
Dude. So I always knew David. Ever since around that time, I knew David after that. Even when we got to high school, like, I was still like, I was a little nerd in high school. Like, I didn't fuck around with nobody. I would run into David, and it was all love. Like, hey, what's up, Liddy? Like, he didn't call me Liddy, he called me Laddie. He was like, what's up, Laddie? Like, no, whatever, just fucking all love and shit. But I wouldn't kick it with them outside of school. I wouldn't. It wasn't until senior year where, no, it was like junior year. I started playing basketball at the parks, like competitively and stuff like that. And like, we would go run pickup games. And David just started showing up. And then after that, we just would always kick it. And the reason why I always kicked it with that dude was the fact that he was a real solid dude. Like, he didn't.
Very, very reliable.
Yeah. But like, the real thing was that he did not pretend to be something else. Like, if he had some ugly ass shoes, he would still wear the ugly ass shoes because he can give two fucks about what you thought about them.
Yeah.
Like, he was not there to impress nobody. And if you thought he was weird, then you're a fucking lame, or he just didn't like he can care less. Like, he's still gonna be him. So I always loved that about him. So I always stood by his side because I don't know. That was a good characteristic that he had. Yeah. And honestly, that shit took us all the way to the day now. Like, he's never switched up on me. He's never been something different, and I carry
what
that.
You're gonna get.
Yeah, and honestly, that's how it is for all my friends and my friend group. That everybody that I associate myself with, I I like to keep them around because they all have something good to offer. You know, it's not something like fake, you know, it's something real, you know, something genuine. And if I do see some shit that I don't like, trust me, I'll walk the other way. Like I
Yeah,
have
no, well, yeah, we've seen them before.
yeah, we seen it, right? Because
Yeah,
I
I've seen it
walk
a couple of
away like
times.
and it's not even like one thing. It would be like it has to have like a something yeah,
Mhm.
reoccurs and stuff. And yeah, you know, fucking I really study people. Like I've always studied people at a young age. I want to say after like I started taking stuff serious in my life, like I studied people so much. And in high school, it was very quiet, so I studied everybody around me. And it
Mm,
sounds crazy because now I'm a very talkative person, but in high school, like I mean, David, anybody could vouch for me. Like I was quiet. Like I
yeah,
would just sit there and quiet.
and we don't have much time left, but I did want to cover a couple things. I'm gonna ask you
Oh,
like
I
three
got you.
questions. You just let me know
All
like
right.
what your like your very short answers, or you can be dive into a little bit like 2 3 sentences. So I'm big on on reflection. Like I love to like reflect on what I've done, on the things that you've done wrong, things you've done right. So I wanted to ask you because you also do that a lot.
I always
Like
do.
what helped you with reflection? Like what has reflection given you basically?
Like from my point right now to like
Yeah, like I would say like more right now. Cause right now I feel like you've made big jumps since high school
yeah.
and reflecting on like your past, how
Sorry.
has it benefited you now?
Fuck. I don't get it by reflection though. You want to? What do you mean by reflection? You want me to explain
So
exactly?
the decisions you make now,
Oh, okay.
they've been influenced by things you've done before. And I feel like you've always
And
referred
what
to
were
that.
those?
Like you, whether it's like you're saving money, all that type of stuff, like the way you've judged people before.
Yeah,
You looking back and saying, you know what, like I've done something wrong, like that was something I did wrong before, like I've changed because of that. That's reflection. When you look
I
back
get
at
it. Yeah,
something
yeah, yeah.
and understand, how do you feel like that's really helped you now?
Oh, okay. I mean, a lot of things has happened for me to change. Honestly, not, the way I see it, bro, is that we're still learning. Even right now, I'm still learning. Cause, I mean, a year ago, I would say I had everything planned out, but a year ago, or I mean, like a couple of months ago, I realized a lot of shit that I was doing wrong. And for the most part, when it comes to money, yeah, like I learned at a young age that I didn't want to live how I lived as a kid. So I fucking worked my ass off with whatever what it is, whether it's right now working with the city, whether it's anything. Like, I'll always busted my ass because I knew I didn't want to go back to how I was living back
Hmm.
then. Um, being the way that I am, like when it comes to being respectful and stuff like that, I learned that because I seen how it is, how people could be real assholes at times. How like I said, as when I was very quiet and stuff, I realized that when you treated somebody with respect, you got it back. And I did learn that from my family, and I learned that from my mom that they always were very respectful, came off very respectful. So I picked that up. Um, but I want to say my whole mentality really shifted like the last couple of months was when um so I grew up as a very skinny kid. I grew up honestly not even scary, I mean skinny, but like very like I want to say underdog. Like I was seen as I couldn't make a big impact. That I
Yeah.
was too tiny. I was, you know, no, I was just whatever, you know, whatever person. But I had the mentality like, nah, nobody's gonna fucking tell me that. I'm gonna shut you up one day. And I would work my ass off, you know, and um I was just so eager to change my
Physique?
physique or just in my image in general. Like I just hated myself. I hated the way I looked. I hated all that. And I would do anything and everything to fucking change that shit. I would bust my ass, whether it was working out, whether it was doing this, whether it was doing that, it was changing the way I dress, or it was anything, bro. I was anything and everything. I was for anything to change the way I looked because I hated the way I looked. And honestly, like other things happened too where it made me hate myself even more. And um I carried that for a while, and I would talk. I would even make it a joke. But I would be like, "I fucking hate myself. Fuck, I hate myself," and I would get all hyped
Yeah.
up and stuff, and I would just do some dumb shit. But like a couple of months ago is when I realized, like, fuck, like, why the fuck do I hate myself? Like, I didn't realize all this shit that I fucking did for myself
Hmm.
that fuck, nobody near me could do what I did.
Yeah.
And I was over here trying to ruin it by doing stupid shit. That was like when I had a reality check. And I feel like I got that
You
reality check.
reflected on yourself.
I reflected on myself. But it's because I feel like God put me in a position where he made me think like, I'm giving you all this and you still won't listen to me, then have it your way. And he gave it my way, and I was scared for my life. I really was. I was having trouble at sleeping at night. Like I was honestly the worst position I could ever thought I ever. And I thought when my mom passed was the worst position in my life, but it wasn't. It was when I realized all that right then and there. And um yeah, like my whole reflection on life changed. It really did. Like I was so money driven that after I had that reflection that to me money comes and goes. Like obviously you got to be smart with your money. Like I still have money that can protect me and you at the same time. Like I have money because I choose to have money, but at the same time, if my family wants to go get something to eat and they have no money, I will cover that. Or like if I could, I
Money's
love to
not a
share my
driving
money.
factor.
Yeah, I'm not over here like if we go eat, hey, sell me my money because you owe me my money. I was back then. I was like,
Oh, I remember.
everybody knows
Yeah,
that
I remember.
because hey, I worked hard for my money.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
at the
yeah.
same time, I realized I don't work hard for my money. Like everything that I do right now, I do it because I love it. Like I love working with kids. I love showing up for these kids, making them laugh. I love when they see me and they get all excited. Like I do that and I get paid for it and I don't even realize it. So all that money like doesn't really it doesn't I don't mind to share it with others. I don't.
Yeah.
But if you take advantage of me, that's when I do get annoyed.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Biggest challenge life has presented to you.
Biggest challenge?
The biggest obstacle you had to get over. Quick
Damn.
answer.
Nah, dude, that's tough. I mean, I forget a lot of shit, man. The biggest challenge? Mm, fuck. The biggest challenge.
Saturate your bed for a couple days. You're like, damn, like it's a tough thing to get over.
Oh, fuck. No, yeah, I got one, but I don't know if I feel comfortable sharing it.
Oh, I know.
Nah,
Yeah.
but I should talk about it. Nah, but I'm not gonna talk too much about it.
Let's just, for privacy sakes, we're gonna keep the names hidden.
Not even names. I'm just gonna say like a little bit about it.
Yeah, let's not mention
But
any details about
let's just
what.
say like I'm a big lover boy. Like I was a big lover boy. I'm not was, I still am, bro. But I did get my heart broken. I got my heart broken at one point. And yeah, I felt like I wasn't gonna get over it. Like I was just so mentally invested in and so like I was just so at the
Blinded
time. Yeah, blinded, but more like just, like I was invested in it,
in the
I
moment.
really genuinely like um I was just in the moment I loved it. Like I liked it. It was a cool thing, And fuck, I got sucker punched, and it was just like fuck, that shit like that shit dropped me to my knees, low
Yeah.
key. Dropped me to my knees and I feel like fuck, because of that shit is where I started realizing a lot of shit. And that's
Uh,
when I had that
Power
reflection a couple of months
reflection.
later. But
So
man, you
if
don't
I ask,
understand. When I got dropped to my knees, that's when my motivation boosted up.
so it's my next question.
Oh,
What's your
fuck.
biggest motivator?
My biggest motivator? Damn. Why you didn't even finish that last question?
Answer, finish it, and then answer your biggest motivator.
Now, when I gotta answer this one, my biggest motivation is my family. Like that's literally my biggest motivation. Like just making sure my family's okay, and I honestly work for them. Um, if it wasn't for them, like I wouldn't have the mentality that I have, like my drivingness, none of that. And that's why I can't leave them. Like I just can't leave them because if I were to like go and work for myself, like what am I working for really?
Yeah.
Like I could care less. Like, but if I could see them smiling, living in a good home, like that to me fucking makes me want to work even twice as hard than I did.
Mm-hmm.
So they're honestly my motivation. And when I say my family, I'm talking about my Nina, I'm talking about my cousins, which I see them as sisters, my sisters, my aunt that lives in um well my aunt my Nina's sister and her son, like all of them drive me. Like they legit drive me.
They give you a reason to do something.
Yeah, they honestly do give me a reason. So honestly that's my motivation. And Cardi.
Cardio.
Yeah, but my family for the most part, like that's all I live for.
So we're gonna end it off in like three more questions and we're done.
Oh
But I
shit.
feel like these questions are really
You want short answers though, because I know I talk too much.
short, but not too short. Like I want you to explain it. You don't have to go like in depth or anything like that. But I think these are gonna really talk about your character and really show the kind of person you are. Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
First one. What is your definition of success?
My definition of success.
Success.
Damn, that's what I'm saying is that we're still learning. I feel like we're still learning. We don't know what the definition of success is. Like I said, my reflection a couple of months back then, it was just having a shit ton of money and a big ass house is a fucking that's
That's
success.
successful.
And having investments and having all this shit like that was to me was success a couple of months ago. To me now though, success is really just I mean it may sound cliche, bro, but honestly for me it would be to be a father.
Yeah.
I think that to me is success.
More
Cause
family oriented.
that too, but majority mainly just like to be a dad, that to me um is like something to be very say you are successful because and also too like to raise it good. Raise it raise the kid.
No, yeah, raise it. Yeah, raise the kid.
Yeah,
Raise it.
I'm not trying to
No, yeah,
I'm
I
not trying
get you. I
to get
get you.
canceled but yeah, freaking to become a father one day. I think
Yeah.
that to me is success, like to be able to say that I have my own family and that we live in a good home. Honestly, yeah, I'm living a good home. Like I want to make sure my kids are living somewhere safe and good. Nothing close to where I was living or feeling. Like that to me is success. It's not even about how much money you have in the bank. It's not about what you drive, what you have. None of that. It's honestly none of that shit matters to me. Like what matters is that we have a good home, good family, and honestly that I'm healthy. Because if I'm not healthy, then I can't provide.
Yeah.
So my health is the main thing too. That
I
to me
like
is
it.
a success.
Okay, next one. I want you to pick one. I know it's gonna be hard to pick one, but you have to pick one. Craziest conversation or encounter that resonated later on in life. So something you were told earlier on,
Oh shit.
and then later on in life you were like,
I got a sick ass one. I always
wow.
say this one.
Go ahead.
I always say this one. Um, this is a sick ass one. One time I was a kid, and like I said back then, my dad would pick me up every other Sunday. So it'd be one Sunday on, one Sunday off. And when he first did it, we would just go out to eat or go to watch a movie, and then he'll take me right back home. But since I started like skateboarding, I started asking him like, "Hey, like, can you take me to skate parks?" And he was like, "Yeah, I mean that's cool." So he would take me to different skate parks. And one time he took me to Hollenbeck Park, and you know what? I need to ask him this though. I forgot. Not that I forgot, but I've been wanting to ask him. He used to drive this sick ass GMC. It was a fucking a GMC like SUV. Fucking nice. He had nice ass rims. He called them Yankees. He had nice ass Yankees on them.
Yankees?
Yankees. And fuck, dude, all my homies love this truck, right? And one Sunday, like he took us to Hollenbeck Park, but and I asked if I could bring my homies. He said it was cool. So I brought like 5 or 6 homies. 6, 7. I'm joking. I brought like five or
Big
six
guy, you
homies.
didn't have to do
I
that.
brought like 5 or 6 homies with me, and we got to Hollenbeck Park, and we're blasting fucking rock and shit. We're getting hyped up to get to the skate park. We get there as soon as we open the doors. We fucking run to the fucking skate park, and get on our skateboards. And I got on my skateboard. I jump on my skateboard, and as soon as I roll, my shit fucking and I fall forward. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And then I look over, and my fucking I think it was my bearing popped. So the bearing popped, and then luckily we had an extra bearing right there, so I put it on. As I'm putting it in the wheel, and then I'm screwing it back. It's not screwing back on. And I'm like, what the fuck? And my dad was there right there watching me, right? And he was watching me struggle, and I couldn't fucking put it on. So then he comes over and he's like, what's wrong? And I explained to him like my thing doesn't want to tight. The bolt doesn't want to get onto the truck. So he's trying and he can't do it. So then he's like, all right, let's level it out. So he's showing me how to level it out. And we're like scraping it on the concrete, trying to level out the the what is it called? I mean, the thing where the wheel goes, right? And then the bolt goes in. But it was slanted because I mean over time it starts slanting. So there's no tread for the thing to get for the bolt to get. So he's trying to scrape it so it levels out, so it is straight, and then you get some type of tread, and then you could obviously start screwing in the bolt. And we're fucking trying for like an hour. Boom, and my dad's sweating like a motherfucker. Sweating, like all this sweating. He's like scraping it on the floor. Trying it, didn't work. Keep trying it, keep trying it. I'm trying it. Finally, we did one last time. As soon as we like screwed it, he got it. And all my homies, keep in mind, as we're doing this, I'm looking up and I'm seeing my homies skating, having the time of their lives. And I'm right here struggling, watching them. And I'm sweating. My dad's sweating. He's over here fucking pissed off because he can't get it in. And we get it finally, right? And it goes. And I just felt my heart drop. Like, I was so happy that it went in. And then he looks up at me and he goes, no matter how hard it gets, you never give up. And I said, damn, okay. And I just, honestly, I was just, oh, okay, whatever the fuck. Got on my skateboard and when I fucking started doing all my fucking fun shit, jumping off the stairs. But that shit stuck with me. That shit stuck with me. And I took that shit to anything. Like, wherever I do in my life, I don't care how fucking hard it gets, wherever they tell me, hey, you're not going to get this position until next 5 years. I'll fucking do what I got to do to get to that point.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do whatever it is. No matter how hard it gets, I'll do it. And that came with my education. That came with the jobs that I have right now. Like, that came with the car that I have right now. Like, no matter how hard it got, like, I never gave up. And I mean, that's something that I kind of push onto all these kids is that shit, honestly, it's so easy to give up. Like, it's so easy to just walk the other way. But yeah, man, you can't give up.
So this very last question I have for you. I think you might have answered it already with that response. Share one of the most valuable lessons you learned in your life.
Fuck, I have one, but that's kind of a personal story. But I could say a little bit about it. One valuable lesson I could say.
Don't be the nice guy.
No, not that.
Just
Dude.
kidding.
Not that
Just
shit.
kidding.
Nah, hell no. My valuable lesson is probably don't hate yourself. Like, don't ever hate your image. Like, God made us the way that He made us for a reason. Like, we look the way we look for a certain reason. And honestly, like, I go back, I hated the way I looked back then. Like, I hated everything about myself. And even now, like, I'm realizing that, like, fuck, I had so much good features. And man, like, I was so depressed with myself. I was so depressed. Like, I was drinking every weekend. I was doing dumb shit, getting influenced to do dumb shit. Like, when I say dumb shit, like, I mean real dumb shit. Like, some shit that I regret ever doing. Um, just so I could change the way I look, and, yeah, like, that was the most valuable lesson that I learned was that you should not hate the way that you look. Like, you should be glad that you're even able to walk, that you're able to talk, that you're able to think, that you're able to have the energy that you have right now to do this podcast or to go work or to do anything.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. I know it was a little cut, but we cut out like around like about a minute. It was a minute that got cut off, but other than that was pretty much the end of it. That was the last question I had. So Jimmy, appreciate you for coming on, big guy. I know this is the second time we're shooting this outro, but
yeah, it's awkward now.
But it was cool, Stay tuned, guys. Love you guys a lot. Stay tuned for the second episode. Appreciate you. Sub Zuma. Don't work too much. But yeah, stay tuned. You guys are going to see a lot of interviews we're going to have with other people, some insightful stories about personal life. I appreciate you guys. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to the I'm Curious to Know with Freddy Sanchez. It's episode 1. Jaime and Freddy.
Like it up if you want a part 2. Like it up.
Like it up.